Ready when you are.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment of the Township of Union, which is being held pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Law C-231, Laws of New Jersey, dated 1975. Notice of this meeting was advertised in the local source, the newspaper of record, and notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Here.
Miss Martins.
Here.
Mr. Benavenga. Present. Miss Scott.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here.
Miss Ricketts.
Here.
And Mr. Champy.
Here. There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from our July 9th and November 12th meetings. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of July 9th, July 9th and November 12th, 2025, be approved as written and dispense with their reading.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. At this time, are there any communications?
There are no communications, Mr. Chairman.
Then our first order of business will be the approval of a resolution, the adoption of a resolution for calendar number 3468, Pattison ID, Shake Shack, located at 2401 Route 22 West, Block 3303, Lot 10. Applicant wishes new signage. Board members, you've all had a chance to read the resolution. At this time, are there any board members that would like to make changes, modifications, or comment on the resolution as it has been written? Hearing none, may I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board adopt the resolution as written and as accurately memorialized in the previous findings of this board.
Second motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Yes.
Miss Martins.
Yes.
Mr. Benavenga. Yes. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. McNeil.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Champy.
Yes. Continuing with tonight's meeting, our next order of business is calendar number 3469, USA Concession Enterprises, LLC, located at 1160 Springfield Road, Block 3401, Lot 8. Applicant wishes to add wholesale retail to the existing warehouse plus distribution. Counselor?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Danielle Federico, the law firm Chiesa, Shahinian, and Giantomasi, appearing on behalf of the applicant and tenant, USA Concession Enterprises, LLC, with respect to the proposed use at the property located at 1160 Springfield Road, which is designated as Block 3401, Lot 8 on the township tax maps. Just to briefly introduce the project, the property is located in the CI zone and is presently developed with a pre-existing non-conforming warehouse distribution use, which consists of approximately 46,530 square feet, which is to remain. By this application, the applicant is seeking preliminary and final major site plan approval with use variance approval to permit the use of a hotel retail use on the property and for minor site improvements, including restriping the existing parking area. No changes are proposed to the footprint of the existing building, so we're not expanding that whatsoever. The property has a number of pre-existing nonconformities, which will not be changed or otherwise exacerbated, which will be further detailed by our planner, which includes the existing warehouse distribution use. So the building will be operated as a warehouse distribution center with a wholesale retail use, which will not be open to the general public. The applicant will only be selling goods to businesses with wholesale business memberships, which requires a tax ID number for that business. The CI zone permits retail sales and services as a conditional use in the zone. However, unfortunately, the definition does not include wholesale retail, so we are seeking a use variance for this new proposed use. We are also seeking 2 C variances for minimum parking, stall length, as well as minimum distance from the location of the parking loading areas, which again will be further detailed by our planner. I have for you 2 witnesses for tonight, one of which is a representative of the applicant, and the other is Matt Seckler, who's a civil engineer, traffic engineer, and planner. I've submitted the affidavit of service and proof of publication, and unless there's any questions for me, I'd like to call on my first witness.
Fine.
Thank you. With that, I'd like to call Mr. Matt Seckler.
For the record, counsel and Mr. Chairman, board members, I did mark A1, which was the application supporting materials as submitted. A2 was the site plan from Stonefield Engineering consisting of 4 sheets. A3 was the vehicle maneuvering exhibit also submitted by Stonefield, which consisted of 2 sheets, and A4 was the traffic impact study. So we have A1 through A4 pre-marked for the record. Can I ask the witness to swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
And for the record, state and spell your name with your affiliation.
Certainly. My name is Matthew Seckler. That's Seckler. I'm with Stonefield Engineering Design. Address is 92 Park Avenue in Rutherford, New Jersey.
Thank you.
And Matt, could you please give the board the benefit of your educational background and experience?
Certainly. I have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Union College in Schenectady, New York. I have a Master's in City Regional Planning from Rutgers University, a licensed professional engineer and professional player in the state, and recognized as a professional traffic operations.
We'll accept his
Thank you.
credentials.
You're familiar with the site and the proposed use?
Correct.
And your office prepared the site plan and the traffic impact statement that was submitted with this application?
Yes, and
And-
I will pull that up, which I think was Exhibit A2 as referenced by
Yes.
Board's counsel.
And also, if you just, I think you have one exhibit, if you want to just pre-mark that.
When I get it up here and loaded, yes. I'll start with A2, but I'll get to that in a second. So again, this is A2. This was the site plan set that we submitted. I'll just kind of orientate, how to zoom in on this, there we go. Orientate the board to where we are. Let's put it around without me touching. The site that we're speaking of is the building and property that's located at the northwest corner of Milltown Road and Springfield Road. It, as mentioned, is in the CI zone. It's about 2.71 acres. Looking back at historic aerials, looks like the original warehouse structure on this property was built in the late 1950s and 1960s, and then in the late 90s they added on this area that's located a little to the bottom of this image, was added on at that point. Since that time, it looks like there's been very minimal changes to the property itself. In terms of access points, there's one driveway along Milltown Road, one main driveway along Springfield Road, and then they have kind of a loop drop-off area with some parking spaces that also has access along Springfield Road. Both of those driveways are located both of the main driveways are located as far from the traffic signal as possible that exists on Milltown Road and Springfield Road. And as part of this project, which I will get to in the next slide or two, we're looking to make minimal changes to the property, essentially just to circulation and parking, increasing the parking supply from 67 parking spaces to 76 parking spaces. We will also be adding 2 oversized parking spaces that'll be able to be utilized, and you'll hear in terms of the operations by kind of vans or vans, pickups, or small box trucks. We're also adding an area for shopping cart storage, and other than that, there's pretty limited improvements to the overall site. We are adding some ADA parking spaces, although their eventual location may be slightly shifted. We've located 4 of them located closest to Springfield Road, but it's likely a couple of them will be located closer to the customer entrance, which is located to the rear of the site in the area that I'm circling on sheet C3 of part of A2. Just in terms, I'll briefly go into operations, but you're going to hear from the operator in a second. I just want to talk about some of these items as this site plan is up in front of you. And then I'll also be coming back as the traffic engineer and planner after you hear from the operator and hear his plans for the property. You will hear that the operator currently has a site and business that operates pretty similarly to this in Elizabeth, with the one exception that site purely operates from a wholesale perspective in terms of Everyone makes their orders ahead of time, basically online, and they either pick up or the operator delivers out to those businesses. At this location, he'd like to have the ability to have a slight expansion or a change of the business to kind of open up the ability for people to come in, obviously as members, part of the normal membership, to come in and make purchases and see the products in the store as well. Obviously, as that part of the business model, get a little more of that impulse buying as opposed to just clicking in, having this stuff delivered to you, but they will still be maintaining that online purchasing, delivery out, or pickup operations. So they're adding that kind of portion of the business, but they are still maintaining their existing business model with this site here in Union. A couple other items I'll mention because it relates to what you're going to hear from the operator. In terms of employees, the busiest shift is between 10 and 15 at the busiest shift. Overall, they do expect to have about 30 employees in total here. In terms of site layout, the drop-off area that currently exists that has some parking on it that is accessed off of Springfield Road, all those parking spaces are going to be limited to employee only. So the idea is not to have any customers kind of coming in that kind of loop area. It's actually the furthest from the door where the customers would enter. So really, it's clearly a great spot where we could sign those as employee-only parking spaces. You'll hear later from the applicant in terms of the hours they intend to have this site open. But from an operations standpoint, we will look to maintain the existing lighting on site. The primary lighting on the site is all building lighting. We're looking to keep that as is and not make any significant changes. Obviously, we'll work with your board's engineer. If there's any lighting that has been damaged or lights that are out, we will obviously replace them with the latest LED light models. Other than that, again, I will be coming back to discuss the traffic report we prepared and the variances we're seeking and discuss how this meets the D1 standards. But I wanted to give just an overview of the property so that when you hear the operator come up and explain, how he plans to work on the site, you at least have an idea of which property we're talking about.
Are there any board members that would like to question Mr. Seckler?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The question I had is concerning deliveries. Where I don't see any loading dock areas or anything indicated on the plan to show where deliveries will be coming in.
I'm glad you asked. So off the Milltown Road driveway, there are 4 loading docks that are going to remain. I'm circling them on the exhibit here, but they are located at the, I'd say, bottom right portion of the building as the plan's been orientated on C3. So these are 4 loading docks that exist today. We'll be maintaining those, and that's where the deliveries coming in would be. Not all deliveries are going to be tractor trailer at his current site in Elizabeth, and you'll hear in terms of frequency. They also get box truck deliveries or van deliveries for some products. In terms of going out when they are delivering to customers, because not every business comes and picks up the stuff in the cart, they may get a recurring order and they'd rather not come to the site. Similar to what happens in Elizabeth, they will have 2 vehicles on site that they would use to deliver out. One would be like a van, the other one would be more like a car, which they would use to deliver out to any type of businesses that make their purchases online. Or if you make the purchase in the store and you don't have a vehicle big enough, they would obviously ship it out to you as well.
So that area is going to be for intake only?
Yes, the 4 loading docks are for intake only, and the parking spaces that are located, and again, this is to the left of that area on this plan, are also going to be employee spaces only, so we don't have any intermingling. But you will hear from the operator. They do have control in terms of when deliveries come in, and he'll explain to you when they're able to limit deliveries so you don't have high customer traffic, which, again, I don't think you're going to have high customers anyway, but you wouldn't have their high customer traffic at the same time those tractor trailers would arrive. Leaving the site, the tractor trailers, and we did show this within the package we've submitted, would leave via Milltown Road and head towards Springfield Road because the Milltown Road Bridge and heading into Springfield has a truck prohibition, so you can't send them that way. And I believe the obviously easiest route from here would be to make a right on Springfield Road and head to 22.
Are there any other board members that would like to question the witness?
This is Rob Pansul, the board attorney. I just want to confirm you did get the Collier's letter, which was dated December 2nd. I believe there were fire comments as well from December 1st. No problem from your engineering expertise had to satisfy the conditions raised. There weren't many, but I know the pre-construction meeting is something that they've been finding productive, and that's something they've been putting in the letters. I think it's a good idea. I assume there's no problem with anything in either of those letters from
Absolutely.
an engineering perspective.
We have no issue complying with all the outstanding comments, which,
Thank you.
again, I think are very limited.
Any other board members?
I'll be
Hearing
back.
none. Are there any members of the public that would like to question Mr. Seckler's testimony? Hearing none. Counselor, would you like to call the operator?
Yes. With that, I'd like to call Mazag Fayek.
Good evening, everyone.
Can I ask the witness to swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
And for the record, could you state and spell your name with your affiliation with the company?
Mazak Fayek, M-A-Z-A-K-F-A-Y-E-K. I'm the CEO for the USA Concession Enterprises, LLC.
What was the position with the company?
CEO.
CEO, thank you.
And Mazag, how long have you been the CEO for the company?
Since at the end of the 2019,
And prior to becoming CEO for USA Concession Enterprises, where did you work?
I was at the director of the operation for a company called Midfield Concession, was located at Newark Airport in Newark, New Jersey. I've been doing this position since 2011 until the 2019 when the pandemic came in. And then
And-
after that, I transferred to
And when you were there, you dealt with operations and concession
I was
vendors?
oversee at Newark Airport, checking all the restaurant for, the company had 6 restaurants at Newark Airport, and then also we have one in San Francisco, one in Boston, one in Indianapolis, one in Minnesota. So I was oversee, I check here at Newark, and then when the company need me to travel to any of this airport, I go over there, I check with the manager, the employee, if there is any issue, I meet with the vendor, and then I make sure I meet with the airport, with the concession, I make sure everything was running properly.
And the applicant is going to be the tenant at the property located at 1160 Springfield Road, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
The applicant is going to be the tenant at the proposed property?
Yes.
Are there any existing tenants at the property currently?
Currently, I don't know, it's empty.
And what is the purpose of the proposed application?
The building does business to be a wholesale business to business.
And the wholesale retail use, it's not going to be open to the general public?
No,
So you're only going to be selling these goods to businesses with wholesale memberships?
correct. And when the business has to have the tax ID, and then we'll do for them the membership. When they have this membership, they can come in, or they can order online for pickup or delivery.
And as far as customers ordering online, you have an existing website, is that correct?
Yes, we do.
And through that existing website, people can pick up their orders from an existing warehouse?
Yeah, they
you
can order
operate?
online, and then they can come in and pick it up, or we can deliver it to them if they need it.
And currently, how your deliveries work, you have one truck and one van to provide deliveries?
We have one truck and one van, and then if the business need more than that, we can use a third party.
And again, anyone from the public that wants to purchase products at this location, is this allowed?
Public, no, only for business.
And they need a business tax ID number, is
Correct.
that correct?
Correct.
And once the businesses are registered, you'd give them a membership card, is that
Membership, correct.
And what kind of products do you offer?
We offer food, beverage, candy, and snacks, chocolate chips, OTC over-the-counter, travel items, whatever, and the general merchandise for the convenience store need.
And these are in like wholesale, they're not like individual?
No, it's a wholesale. We not sell to the consumer. We sell to the store, and then the store sell to the final customer.
And you're not increasing the square footage of the building, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
You're not increasing the square footage of the building?
No, we keep it the same.
And you have Matt Seckler had mentioned you have another location that operates a similar business, is that correct?
We have the current location right now is in 2252 Butler Street, Elizabeth.
And when did you open that?
And
Business?
we took over this building in the 2021.
And that facility is a little different because it's only a warehouse distribution facility, is that correct?
Correct. The customer order online, and then we deliver it to them.
And at that facility, can they also pick up the products?
They can pick up only, but they cannot go inside and then pick up whatever they want.
So is this location proposed to expand your existing facility to allow customers now to enter so that they can
They
view
can come in
products
and check the product, and then maybe they change their mind, they find more product, different product they want.
But you would still primarily have that website where
Correct.
people could order online?
Correct.
And then you'd also be delivering?
Sure. Yes, we
and-
do that.
And a lot of your customers come pick up?
Yes.
And as Matt had stated, you have a total of 20 to 30 employees?
It's going to be 20 to 30 employees. Yes, correct.
And per shift, though, it's only 10 to 15
10 to
employees,
15.
right? And how many transactions would you anticipate at any given hour?
It's going to be 30 to 40 at the busy hours.
And that includes like pickups?
As include the pickup, include any customer who coming in to pick up if they order online or they're coming in inside.
So that's not necessarily parking, it's just them coming, picking up, and getting?
Is include everything, correct.
And the average time you expect people to be in the facility?
I'm sorry, that's.
How long do you expect people to be in the
They
facility?
can, if they already know, they can take like between 15 to 20 minutes to pick up and then cash out for that.
And your anticipated hours of operation?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be 6 to 6. And then Thursday, we expect to be a busy day, can be 6 to 7 p.m. if the business need it.
And how many deliveries do you anticipate at this location?
We expected to have like 2 deliveries a day. With that truck can be 52 or it can be a 26 foot of the trucks.
And you could schedule these deliveries?
We can schedule. We can work with the supplier or the company. We can schedule to make sure it's not coming at the busy time.
And how is trash managed at this facility?
We're gonna have 2 dumpster, and then they can pick up. If the business needed to pick up daily, we're gonna do this one. If it is not, we can maybe pick up like 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
At this time, are there any board members that would like to question the testimony the witness has provided?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So you stated in your testimony that your requirements to become a member is you need a tax ID number, correct?
Correct.
And I also heard you said you'll be issued a card. So how would it, walk me through how it works? Like, so I pull up, you come through the entrance, do you check my card? Can you explain how the operation works?
All right. With a new customer coming into the location, they're gonna go to the customer service first, and then they're gonna ask it if you want to be a membership. This is gonna be start at with the new customer. So every day probably gonna receive like 2 new customers, 3, 5, 10, wherever they're gonna come in. So they're gonna go to the customer service. They're gonna take their business name and address, phone number, and then is required to have the tax ID in order to make sure they purchase this product for the business. So once we get this information, we enter it to the website, and then we issue them the member card.
Okay, so say prior to that, I have my membership card already. I just have access to the,
If we already do for you the membership, you can just have access, and then you.
so I could just walk in, nobody checks? Nobody,
We can do like a scanner at the front when you're coming in.
is that what you do, or?
Currently, right now, we're not doing this one at the current location we have. But this is what we can do for the new warehouse. When you're coming in from the enter door, you're gonna scan your card, and then you go inside, take the card, and then bring whatever you want.
So currently, how your business operates, people also are verified online, is that correct?
It's online, correct?
And they also have to enter their tax ID number before they can purchase on your website?
Before we do any, because if you log in right now to the website, you're not gonna be able to see any price, or you cannot order. You have to become a new customer, and then you send your information, and then we set up your information in the website, and then we can let you in. Okay, now you are a customer, and then you can order online.
Okay, next, so now the products that you're selling, how are they being displayed inside here?
It's gonna be an aisle, like can be maybe aisle for candy, aisle for snacks, aisle for chocolate. there is like some section is gonna be for phone accessory, some section is gonna be for OTC over the counter. So everything is gonna be breakdown by aisle or section.
All right, so are you also selling stuff that's perishable that needs to be refrigerated?
Yes.
Okay, and how big is that space?
The refrigerator, we're gonna start with a small one, probably like 2,000 or 3,000 square foot if needed. To have like, there is some product on the goose, like naked, I'm gonna say an example, like naked goose, Tropicana, or all this kind of thing has to be refrigerated. So this probably we're gonna have like in a small one.
Now, does the public have access to that, to walk in the refrigerated area?
It's gonna be by door. So when they are walking in the aisle, they can open the door, they can pick up whatever they want.
But the public, the general public?
No, general public, no. Has to be a business to business.
Well, that's what I'm saying, when I say general public, I mean the person that's, the member. Has,
The member, yeah, there's the member, they can open the
right,
door
okay,
from
so
outside.
it's basically doors and
Correct.
the stuff is
Behind the door, correct.
right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
How many square feet is allocated for browsing? I go in there and I want to check what products you have. Where can I go? How many square feet approximately?
All right, we have, this is breakdown by 4,000 or 5,000 square foot is only for loading and unloading for the trailer when it's coming into delivery. This is not gonna be for anyone to enter unless the employees only. And then there is the 6,000 or about 6,000 foot is for the office only. And then there is, we gonna have like in the cash and carry area for the checkout, it's gonna be about 4,000 square foot. So if you do 4 and 4 and 8.
So that is the part of the browsing area. I want to come in here and I want to see what kind of candy you have.
Correct.
How
It's gonna be in each aisle. Once you go inside, there's gonna be an aisle, this aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3.
okay. So if you have 10 aisle, how many square feet is that area
For the aisle,
for people to come in and
it's
see?
about like 25 square foot.
2,500?
25,000.
25,000 square feet.
Yeah, probably 20 to 25.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just interject for a second, Mr. Chairman. Hi, this is the zoning officer. So it says, if I'm reading this correctly, from this letter, it says 46,530 square feet of approximate, okay, is the building itself. 35,000 square feet of existing building will remain. 4,000 square feet will be used for wholesale retail. 4,000. 7,500 square feet will be used for accessory office and loading. Is this not correct?
4,000 for loading and unloading? That's correct.
It says
Five?
approximately 7,500 square feet will be used for accessory office as well as loading and unloading areas. So I guess that's divided up, 7,500 is divided up according to you, 7,500 will be, square feet will be divvied up.
For loading and unloading, that's correct.
Now, that 7,500 also includes
The cash register.
office space. 7,500 square feet will be used for accessory office space as well as loading and unloading. Is that 7,500 and 7,500? Because I believe I'm reading that 7,500 divided. So
75 and 75 is 50,000 square foot.
it doesn't say that. Does not say that. It just says 7,500 square feet will be used for accessory office. Do you have this? This is the engineering? This
But
is
the
what-
office is already there and it is already built, and then we're not gonna change anything from whatever sites we have already right now. So it's gonna
I think
stay
the
same.
confusion is trying to understand the retail aspect and how much of that is going to be accessible to your retail/member, business membership patrons. And, I think a way it might help, you have an existing site, correct, in Elizabeth? This isn't replacing that. You're going to continue with that?
Correct.
Now, you don't have this retail feature there.
No, they can do.
So there's a reason maybe if you can explain the reason you feel you need this retail element. Are you feeling you need it in Elizabeth and you don't have the space for it? Is that a similarly sized
Because
site?
over there, we have only 13,000 square foot.
Okay, but that's going to continue as a warehouse. You're not getting rid of that.
For now, yes.
Okay. Because the majority, I think the letter, Mr. Manguso, that's out of the application, or
Yeah,
one of the
this is,
submissions.
yes.
I was going to say, I could interject because I am the one that wrote that letter. Our understanding is that this is the breakdown of the individual spaces, but the warehouse distribution use and that retail use are operating in conjunction. So they're really a use together, those three uses. And then the use that's exclusive, that no one's going to be able to access, is that approximately 7,500 square feet of the office space and the loading and unloading areas that no one can access. But
And the 4,000 is going to be the cash and carry area, that's the
That's gonna
retail
be like the checkout
exchanges,
area.
the checkout, as it were.
But then the warehouse distribution and wholesale retail kind of operate in conjunction.
But you're still going to have that aspect, and I guess what we're trying to determine, is that still going to be a predominant feature of your site? This isn't going to flip into, for your business customers to come and do retail. Even though you got to be a business member, you'll still expect a certain amount of orders the way you're doing them in Elizabeth now. You'll do them online, they'll come and pick them up, or you'll deliver them. Some aspect of your business, if not a good percentage of your business, will remain that way, I would think, correct?
Correct.
You're not looking to lose that operation, you're just looking to enhance it with
Correct.
a retail element. I guess you're finding that's necessary through your experience in Elizabeth.
Correct.
So the retail people will be able to enter the warehouse area, but it's still the warehouse area, as it were. It's not a store, like I think Mr.
No,
Champion
it's not
was
a
saying.
store.
It's going to be,
It's a warehouse.
you know, we have visions of walking into like a ShopRite and going up and down the aisles, because that's what Restaurant Depot has become. And I think the concern is to make sure this doesn't, you don't lose control of the site on the, you're here because of the retail element of that, the retail wholesale element. It's kind of an undefined and a new area. So that's what I think we just want to be clear so I can memorialize it, so we know. Mr. Manguso is the zoning officer. He's also the code official. So, you know, we want to make sure we know what we can do in the future. You know, hopefully you get an approval and you're there and you prosper. That's always the goal in the town, especially for a good business. But we want to make sure we have the controls. I know your traffic engineer will probably elaborate on that a little bit. But I think that's the control we really need to get.
Yes, that's pretty much what, but like I said, I mean, and then you get to the 35,000 square feet of existing building which remain existing warehouse distribution. Will they be able to shop in that area?
When they walk inside,
Well, the 35,000 square feet of, you know, I mean, do you have this letter?
with me, I believe I can.
Your business retail customers will be able to enter the warehouse area.
And, yeah, is that part of the shopping? Like, can I walk around the warehouse and say, I want that?
Is when they coming in, they can get this like cart, wherever. If I, let's an example, if I need like, I'm gonna bring a bag of medicine, or I'm gonna bring a phone charger, or like a case, or a bag of 12, or I'm gonna bring like a case of soda. I have to get it and then put in the cart and go to the register and then pay for it. But they cannot like buy like individual bag as a general public.
No, and I understand that. I'm just saying that I see the approximate warehouse space. I'm using this big warehouse. It's 35,000 square feet. I'm looking at this letter as it's broken up. Like there's 4,000 square feet of retail selling in this 4,000 square feet. Then there's 35,000 square feet. The way I'm looking at it is it's warehouse distribution with a walk-in cooler. Will I be able to shop in that 35,000 square feet as a member?
I will say those two areas will be used in conjunction. So yes.
Because then it's really not 4,000 square feet, it's 39,000 square feet is my point.
But I think that's the confusion. I think the
Yeah.
vision in the way
That's
Mr.
a lot more.
Manguso was reading the summary, you're going to go into this 4,000 square feet retail display area, as it were, and check out and cashier, and be able to determine, you'll see some of the goods, as you said, and say, I want this, this, and that, and your employees would be the ones in the warehouse, not the public.
And that's a mistake on my part. We're not trying to limit that area. It's
Well,
just-
how, I guess the question then is, I mean, you're talking about limits and controls. I think some of those limits and controls need to be clarified, just because that's the concern, is to lose control of the site.
And
that level.
again, his primary business model is to have his customers order online, is that correct?
Order online, and then beside that, because we have to make it clear, they have to come in inside to get whatever they need and then pay for it. Because if they're gonna come and then stay outside and then the employee's gonna bring it for them, so there's no way for them to come in. They can just order online and then we can deliver it to them.
But that's what's happening in Elizabeth, right?
But-
That's the way your business,
When in Elizabeth, they order through the website, and then they can schedule the day. They can say, I needed this to be on the 5th or the 6th, and then we deliver it to them.
and you're
Or
going
they
to
can
deliver
come in
it?
and then pick it up.
You deliver it, or they pick up?
We deliver and then they pick up.
The both, and you're
Yeah,
going to
if
have
they
that
need
here
pick it
too?
up, if they want to come in to pick it up, they can.
Right.
If they not, we can deliver, like the way how we do, like with the airport.
Same thing is proposed in Union. You're still going to have a order online / pickup and/or delivery feature, non-retail, wholesale.
But this is what we need to do, because we need to have the customer to have more item. They can come in and then they can check what we have, and then they pick up from the shelf or from the rack, and then they check out and then pay for it.
Well, Mr. Pansul, the point I'm trying to make is it's really not 4,000 square feet of retail.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's-
39,000.
He's
square
clarifying that, right, so that definitely,
feet. I mean, that's a big
I don't think
difference.
it's-
That's like a Restaurant Depot.
yeah, I think that's, I mean, can you estimate, or through this proposal, how much of this business model will remain as wholesale like your Elizabeth site is operating? You know, do you see, 50% of your business still seeing people ordering online and coming and doing what they have to do the way they're currently doing it? I mean, you're obviously seeing a need to add this retail component, because you don't have it in Elizabeth.
Correct, this is the main
You don't have the
reason,
space.
Why we get this bigger space.
Right.
To have more option for more transaction or more customer to come in. And then, a lot of time, you don't want to buy all the stuff from online. You would like to come in to visit and then see the item in front of you. Can you check the expiration date? You can check.
Yeah, I know,
check
that's the way the normal shopping experience is and the retail experience.
Correct.
I think that's part of the concern here, because you're there on the wholesale, on the warehousing feature, and I think we just want to be clear. It seems like we're not clear on confirming that wholesale distribution aspect is going to still be the main part of your business.
According to this, it wouldn't be.
Well, the way that explanation just came in, it wouldn't. According to that, it was.
You have a small portion as
Right.
distribution and warehouse, and 80% of this is retail, and that's the same thing as.
Would you be able to consider, it seems to me, I think what has to happen along the lines, the way that narrative went in, is, I mean, you can put limits and be able to try to control a
like
little
the-
better the
for the
public
big
going
dog.
into these warehouse areas. I mean, that's the only way I could see it, if that's I mean, I don't vote and Anthony doesn't vote, maybe the board can weigh in on it, but I don't know.
I think maybe a floor plan of the intended use of the space, where this refrigeration area is, and obviously the storage area behind these doors. That's gonna take up some area. The area where your racks are gonna be, not necessarily what's gonna be on the racks, but where the racks are gonna be and where the storage is gonna be for those components. Maybe a plan showing that may eliminate some questions.
Because what I remember when we talked, me and the lawyer or the person who was doing the breakdown, we do the loading and unloading area is going to be about 4,000 square foot. The cash and the checkout is going to be about 4,000 as well, 5,000. And then the walk-in cooler is going to be like 3,000 square foot. And then we still have the office space is, I believe, over 6,000 square foot. So basically, there is like only 50% from the warehouse is going to be used for the customers.
I think there needs to be some clarity on this, I
But
don't
this-
even think,
I believe this
I don't
is-
even think the engineering department, they took it the way I took it. That there's only 4,000 square feet of retail space area.
This is what, I believe this is what they mean by the checkout for the 4,000.
Like, we were taking that one component out of it to calculate it, not have that be,
No, I think what Mr. Manguso is believing, it sounds to me, he can correct me if I'm wrong, you would walk into that 4,000, you, the retail business customer, would walk into that 4,000 or so area and say, hey, get me 2 boxes of this, this, and that out of the freezer, that you, the applicant, would go get that stuff out of the freezer, not to have them be able to traverse the warehouse and shop for this. I know they want to see certain stuff, but
But it's not gonna go inside the walk-in cooler. Everything they're gonna need, they're gonna just open the door.
all right, so they won't be able to shop into that part of the.
No, they're
but
not
that's-
gonna enter inside.
I mean, I think that's what we're trying to get a handle on, what they can and can't shop around.
You
in.
know what, to be honest with you, it's very
No,
hard.
they're not
And-
gonna enter inside.
and we
For the
can
walk-in
certainly get you
cooler.
a floor plan and provide some
Well, that-
better clarity.
I mean, I think that, to Mr. McNeil's point, I mean, I think the only way is
Because
it
if
broken
you just
down
like,
into,
if you go to like BG's or Sam's Club or Costco, you see all the walk-in cooler with the doors outside, and then you open the door, you bring a bag of chicken or whatever you need from the door, and then you close it, that's it. But there is no one able to go inside the walk-in cooler.
You're familiar with Restaurant Depot, right? Right
I
where it
do.
is your neighbor?
I do familiar.
Okay. I mean, I think that's the sounding board which is leading to some of the concern.
But a restaurant depot, they allow the customers to go inside the walk-in cooler.
Not just the cooler, though,
I'm
the
not talking
warehousing
about
part,
the
too.
You could walk
The
up and
warehousing
down
part.
those aisles.
I get it that there's glass doors.
No, they
I'm
walk
fully
inside
aware
the
of that.
walk-in cooler as well.
They do,
Okay.
and you could do that. You could walk in there, into the cooler,
And
into the
again,
refrigerated area.
Okay, okay.
we could certainly get you a floor plan and provide better clarity with the narrative, because I think there's some
Okay.
confusion.
Would you like
Trying
to
figure out how
adjourn
much square
tonight's meeting?
footage is going to be available
Yeah.
to those members. That's the question.
And again, I think how I wrote it, we were trying to take out spaces and
And
make,
what,
like, show what each space was, but a lot of them are going to be working in conjunction.
right.
So we'll definitely get a floor plan and write this a little differently so that it's clear.
Right, I certainly don't think it's deceptive or intentional. I think what it is you hear the concern is hitting that area with too much retail, and that's, we're not sure it could sustain it, and that's really the draw. So that makes sense to me. I mean, if you're willing to do that, council, I don't know what your timetable is in terms of your operational issues, you know, and it's 3 weeks before Christmas and everything else, but.
We could certainly do that. I know Matt Seckler has something to say too.
Yeah, that's where, yeah, no, I'm not cutting you off, it's just, we're just trying to get
He's
to
the traffic, he's the traffic expert, right?
Yeah, he's traffic
He's traffic and
planner.
planner and engineer, so.
The only other thing I wanted to add, Mazag, primarily now, approximately 50% of your customers are your
Airport customers, correct.
And they order online, is that correct?
They order online.
And you deliver to
We
them or
deliver
they
it to
come
them.
pick up? So that's 50% of your customer base currently
Correct.
is not coming, and,
No,
They don't
airport,
come
no. They just order online and then they receive their order.
and would you expect that same business model to carry on here? Would you expect them to, are you going to still expect to deliver to them and they're going
Yes.
to order online?
Yes, this is our main customer, is gonna still the same.
So approximately 50% of your
Correct.
customers are still going to order online, you're
Correct.
going to deliver to them, or they're going to come pick up
Correct.
and not enter.
No, they're gonna order online.
So I have no further questions.
Yeah,
for
that's helpful, that's what I was hinting
Yeah.
at. See, that's helpful to hear that, and if you could translate a site plan, a floor plan, not a site, the site plan you have through Matt, but we don't have architecturals, you don't need it, you're not renovating, but maybe the floor plan to say this X amount of square footage is just going to be warehouse. The public is not going in there. I mean, I think that'll alleviate some of the concerns that certainly Mr. Manguso has. I assume certain board members would have the same concern.
Would you like
Depending
to
on what square
continue
footage is available
with
for
the
the members.
traffic expert?
Yeah,
And then maybe adjourn tonight's meeting, and we'll,
and we'll
We'll
bring
check
back
the
a floor
calendar.
plan and- Yeah,
for a date?
absolutely.
I do have just one other question, and it's probably for the traffic engineer and the engineer.
Mr. Mayor?
So, yeah, well, I'll ask you. I mean, it's,
Well, are we done with the representative?
Well, are there any other board members that would like to question the testimony that the witness has provided?
I just have one question, Mr. Chairman. How many members would you say you have in Elizabeth currently?
Currently, now about 100.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question the testimony this witness has provided? Hearing none, Counselor?
With that, I'd like to recall Mr. Seckler.
Thank you.
Still under oath, obviously, and already qualified.
Thank you. I'll get into the traffic testimony. I think some of it also is related to this. I was looking up, trying to figure out how big the Restaurant Depot is, and obviously, I think Restaurant Depot, national brand. I think there was over 150 stores nationally, and the store in Springfield looks to be 120. I think it's 120,000 square feet, with 100,000 being related to the not office area. So again, I was looking at it from a use perspective. It's similar to like a ShopRite compared to that new Leafy Basket place that's on 22 westbound, I think. In terms of the scale between our site, which is a I'm going to say mom and pop, a kind of local business owner working at a site that not knowing the breakdown. And again, I think that definitely makes sense. The board wants to see that breakdown at 46,000 square feet compared to 120,000 square feet national brand next door. So again, just I think the business model and market is different. Just in terms of the frozen food or refrigerated foods, this is an operator that is intending to utilize his current business a lot, as you could hear, is convenience type products or things at the airport. The phone chargers and the juices and the over-the-counter medicines and things like that. So again, I do think it's a little different of a business model compared to I think what Restaurant Depot has in terms of their expanded kind of sales. But again, I just wanted to kind of put them on the record and thinking about also from a traffic point of view, the size of the building and the name brand is very different between the two. But from a traffic perspective, we did prepare a traffic impact study. It included traffic counts on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, during the morning and evening peak hours. That's 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning, and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., as well as on Saturday, May 17th, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And during those time periods, we've counted the number of cars, pedestrians, bikes, anyone that went through the intersection of Springfield and Milltown Road. We did analyze, based on the amount of traffic we expect our site to be generated in the busiest hour. To do so, we utilized the Institute of Transportation Engineers Trip Generation Manual. They have an actual land use code for wholesale market. So again, they basically, obviously, as we just I was alluding to, every wholesale market may be a little different, but based on their definition of wholesale market, we'd be expected to have during the busiest hour, a building of this size, about 20 customers in the busiest morning hour, 40 customers in the busiest evening or Saturday peak hours. So again, I think when you heard the operational testimony from the applicant, kind of lines up to what the ITE, the national numbers, are saying. But again, with 40 trips or 40 customers in an hour, it's not going to substantially overload the intersection based on our analysis. I do think this site does benefit that the access points are as far from the signal as possible. I do know that signal does get backed up, especially during rush hour at times. We can't have our driveways any further than they are today from the signal, or else they'd be on someone else's property. So we put them as far away from the property as possible. In terms of parking in the site, I don't believe we're seeking a parking variance. We're actually adding parking spaces compared to what's out there today. And if you kind of break down the numbers in your head, even if all 40 customers are parked at the same time and they all arrive at the same time and they're occupying 40 spaces, and our 15 employees are out there and they're all occupying spaces, we still have sufficient parking because we have 76 parking spaces on site. So I do believe we have sufficient parking for this site to operate based on the national numbers, based on the applicant's numbers, and their expected employee numbers. But I do think the other aspect that's really important here is the fact that this is a business coming from a delivery-centric or kind of wholesale pickup-only centric. So again, if I was the airport, why would I want to drive or have people come down here to drive, shop the store, park, when you already have an established relationship where you basically just send your order and gets delivered to your, I guess, the secure areas of Newark Airport. So again, I do think that's one of the benefits here is having an established online relationship. You're not going the other way. You're not going and trying to convince people, hey, instead of coming to, ShopRite, why don't you order from home? This is really what his business has been doing all along is really the delivery or order ahead type model. So I do think that's a benefit from a traffic point of view for this application. So again, we did do a traffic impact study. I don't believe there's any technical comments in the Collier's letter related to the traffic impact study, but obviously here to answer any questions, and obviously sounds like we'll be back again as a planner at the next hearing when we unveil the interior floor plan.
Are there any board members that would like to question Mr. Seckler's testimony?
Mr. Seckler, you would agree, though, if there's more of a retail flair here, that may at least impact the numbers of expected parking spaces? And I don't know the answer as I sit, but I think if, for example, as Mr. Manguso was hinting at, if Colliers looks at it with an expectation of 4,000 square feet of retail, when in reality it's 44,000 square feet of retail, you still might have enough parking, but the board would need to know that.
Absolutely.
Because he has a business now in Elizabeth that has delivery wholesale only. So he's adding this retail feature for a reason. Either his current customers are telling him they want it, or he's looking to expand and get more customers. He's doubling the size of the site. He's making an investment. That's all good. Like I said, Union is a business-friendly environment. I've sat here for decades. I can tell you that in no uncertain terms. But you got to make sure you have the traffic and the public's imposition of safety in mind. And this site, unfortunately, and I know we can't, if this was a conforming site, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But because it's a D1 on this retail flair, I hope you understand the significance as we sit. And I think we just want to get to the bottom of it. I don't think it's something that...
Absolutely. And again, I think obviously the board should feel comfortable with that. I will say, in our traffic impact study, we utilized the full size of the building in doing our analysis. So to come up with how many trips the site would generate, we used 46,530 square feet in using that definition of wholesale market. Again, wholesale markets, by definition, typically are that mix of wholesale and retail. Unfortunately, IT doesn't tell you each sample site, what the breakdown was. Was it 50-50, 90-10 between those uses? But we did include the entire building in that calculation. That gave us that basically 42 customers an hour. So again, when I'm looking from a traffic perspective, I want to correlate that to parking. That would be even if every customer was there at the same time, we're there for a whole hour, which again you heard from the operator is not really how every customers are there for 20 minutes or so. I feel comfortable with the parking number based on those IT values, but again, I completely understand the board needs to see how that interior of the building is going to be, split up in order to feel comfortable with the application.
I just have one other quick question, and I'm sure the entrance on Springfield Roadside, that's an in only, correct?
That will be an in only. Right now, the parking spaces are aligned that way. I didn't see the evidence of any signage that indicated that, but we would install whatever signage is necessary.
Yeah, if somebody does go out that way, it should be no left turn.
Yes.
It should only be a right.
It doesn't, because of the way the parking is, there's really, I wouldn't want anyone to go out that way because then they're going to try to get into a parking space. And so I have no problem installing do not enter signs at the bottom of that aisle so no one tries to come out that way.
Because Restaurant Depot across the way, they try to do that. They cut to the left when it says no left turn, and that the police grab them all
And
the
I also
time.
think it's a benefit, again, because of the board's concerns with Restaurant Depot, if we do have, let's say, conflicting peaks, our traffic's coming out to Milltown Road, all our exit traffic to Milltown Road, they get in off the traffic light, they're not competing with some driveways that are in the middle of the street, we have the traffic light.
That is true. That I will agree to. I understand.
Any other board questions? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question Mr. Seckler's testimony? Hearing none. Counselor, so are we going to adjourn? Do you want to adjourn and we'll pick a date?
Yes.
Or
And carry the notice.
we'll okay, but do you want to do it without date, or how many weeks do you need, or how many?
Well, Counsel, what do you think? I mean, we want to try to be accommodating to you. I know you're I'm sure you have a contingent tenancy. You don't own the building, you said, correct? So it's not, but you want to get in there at some point.
How fast can you get it? How fast can you?
Fortunately, this board meets every week, but we're 3 weeks before Christmas right now, so we were already scheduling into January on some other matters, but what do you think? What do you think?
What are your January dates? 14th, 21st, or 28th?
Which one has the bigger case, though, on there? Any of them?
I mean, I would say the 14th. I would say the 14th is really open.
No, we don't have to notice. If we pick a date tonight, we can announce it, so then you wouldn't have to renotice.
I think we'll take the January 14th. If we need additional time, we'll give the board advance notice.
Right, I mean, it's not realistic to try to squeeze it. I mean, we have a December 17th,
No.
which is kind of
No, we're not looking
fa la
for
la
the
la la
December-
time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, I think we want to put effort into the floor plan so the board is satisfied. So we definitely need a January date, so the 14th would be great.
why don't we do that, and then if we encounter additional delay, we can convene and further delay it. I have no problem with that, because your expert has 3 hats, so that's probably a good thing that Matt.
The only other question, are all the board members going to stay the same for January, or do they
That's a
have to
good
be
question. If they
rotated?
don't, I will make sure that we do get the review
Teams.
to get you a full complement of members. That's a good question. As of now, I don't know who's up and who's not. I expect everybody's going to be back.
Okay.
I expect I'll be back. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, we're good with the 14th then.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to adjourn tonight's meeting, and we're going to carry it for a continued hearing without a you don't have to renotice. And the date will be January 14th. At this time, can I have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting and carry it for a continued reading on January 14th? And that's calendar number 3469 USA Concession Enterprises LLC. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for calendar number 3469, USA Concessions Enterprises LLC, located at 1160 Springfield Road. We're going to carry it over to January 14th, 2026, with no further notice.
Second motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley,
Yes.
Yes.
Martins, Mr. Pentavagina,
Yes.
Scott. Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Champy.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Just for the public's benefit, too, that's at 7:30 in this room. It's a normal meeting night of the board. Council, just for the record, I do ask that you acknowledge that you waive any time constraints that might confront the board to realize the adjournment. So noted for the record. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before the board this evening, I move we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.